I don't mind sand.
Well, we're going down for the touchdown today on we're going to tackle the green meme that gets lots of play in our circles. We talk a lot about green, mean green, nice green, lame green, green eggs in a boat with a fox, package of cigarettes of all places you'll find green meme. The green meme comes out of orange meme rationality, which should be the end, but it's not. People start looking inward. People start looking between the cracks of this system that we're functioning in, and they start asking questions and start asking questions about the history that begat the system in question. And
Mhm.
this is the typical perspective of the green meme. We're existential, we're sensitive, and we're multicultural pluralists, which means we value other cultures at least equally to our own, and oftentimes more than our own. So this is a pretty big break from our orange meme perspective here. It's a pretty big move towards globalized thought patterns where like someone in a whole different corner of the world could see things very much the same way that you do. So it's a
Mhm.
little bit more universalizing. It's also strangely unsuccessful is one thing you have to note about green is that it doesn't really accomplish its goals.
The
It tends to
paralysis through
lose.
analysis.
Yeah,
You think about it
dialoguing.
so much that you never did the thing.
You get it all out. You have all your emotional squishiness and all your healing and everything, but it's like, yeah, Orange Meme just built a fucking skyscraper in an airplane while you were doing that shit. Red Meme
Yeah.
built a tank. Like, come on, guys. Like, what did you do? Well, you only stopped some people from spilling oil.
Yeah. I
Okay, well,
started
you
a
guys
dot
are
org.
fucked. You saved a penguin. You guys are fucked. And that's kind of the unfortunate situation for the nice guys and gals and transies of the world that
It's the next it's the next step. Orange was able to stand on the piggyback on the Amber lying to the society that yeah, I'm part of the society. And then doing its own thing. And now Amber doesn't have to lie, or I mean, Orange doesn't have to lie anymore. It's just part of the thing. And Green's like, why am I part of
everyone's
this
on the
thing
same
though?
page. Yeah. I think that the healthy green or yeah, the healthy green ought to come out of like you're at orange and you've kind of accomplished the orange goal. You're doing okay. You're gonna make
Mhm.
it to retirement. You're gonna have the family and the so it's like okay, huh, now I'm done. Like wait, what is life about? What is the meaning of life? Like what are we supposed to be moral here too? Am I supposed to be realizing and rendering my visions and creating art and love and stuff? Or, you know, was it just, okay, you got your money, you got your situation figured out, you're good, done.
So I should probably volunteer then.
Yeah, just volunteer. Yeah. What do you want to volunteer to do? Chop some wood? That'd be good work. People need wood chopped.
I want to get lower prime rates for arthropods.
There we go. Yeah, there's so little volunteer work that's like happening in a call center, you know? We just got to bring down those rates, broaden the base, simplify the code, extend for growth. Bring down rates, broaden the base, simplify the code, extend for growth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So in film a picture, not a lot of horror because green isn't that scary. It can be scary. Social movements can be scary. Overthrows, coup d'etat can be scary. But we don't make a lot of where we're going to see it in horror is more about pictures that focus on like the experience of being othered, insensitivity, microaggressions, being a minority in that experience in the world, social injustices that arise from capitalistic structures and systems, maybe a little social commentary and criticism. But the big one is the meta movement. In storytelling, Green Meme goes all out meta, breaking the fourth wall, being self
Yeah.
aware of genre, filmmaking, even literally talking about, you know, making comments about making a movie like this in the movie itself. So we go super meta. And I think that's where we're actually going to find horror movies for the most part in the
So
storytelling.
let's get it out of the way because I know Danielle really wanted it to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
Cabin in the Woods is one that we'll talk about next.
A
Well,
good amount.
however,
Uh-huh.
there is a character.
The oh, I don't remember his name, but the guy
I
that
think it was Bilbo Baggins.
The guy that's really high that smokes a lot. The guy that smokes a lot, he at one point he points out that he believes that there are puppeteers, so he's aware of, someone else is pulling the strings in this particular situation. And yeah, I feel like that's really important for that breaking that fourth wall. Like, seems kind of like we're, yeah, like in a horror movie almost. Yeah. So,
Especially at the very end, yeah. There's this kind of moment between the audience and that character, and
mhm.
it's like very clear, like, oh, I see you. Like we're doing
Mhm.
a movie here, and I think that yeah, that hits it pretty good
And
with the
also, he's just
meta.
like one of my favorite characters
Oh,
anyway, because
Oh, he's a
that's
cutie.
his bong coffee cup thing that he like starts like fighting the zombies or zombie thing with or whatever. That part was gold.
but
Mhm.
it was an honorable mention
I
because
camp on it.
this
Yeah.
particular character
Is
exhibits
aware.
exhibits green through the whole film.
Okay, and then when in our pre-discussion, Danielle brought up the birds, and I thought she said the burbs. So I was like, "Oh, the burbs. That sounds great." I don't know. So the burbs is Tom Hanks move. It's kind of a comedy, but it has horror elements. He moves into the burbs, and I do not remember this movie that well. But he's like
Oh
peeking
yeah.
out his window. There's a sort of rear window thing going on where he's like seeing the neighbors hauling like garbage bags and axes around. Like, are they psychotic murderers? And so this is again kind of like American Psycho to suggest that like people who are moderately successful are have to be like some kind of psychopath, or to people who live in the suburbs might be creepy misanthropic monsters.
First of all, Corey Feldman's finest piece.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't even
but
remember that.
yeah, because he's
Was he
such a.
like, dude, fucking, let's shoot them all, dude?
So you have seen it.
Gnarly.
There's like a rundown house that's different, built in a different era than the rest of the houses in the burbs. A foreign family moves in, so
Mhm.
already we know we're not in the we're not in the 2000s, but
Not green
a
meme yet.
foreign family moves in, and so everyone's suspect of this family just from the get go. They try to do the welcome wagon thing. Everything seems weird, and then as the movie progresses, they're more active at night. They're digging holes in their backyard. Suspicion rises. Then it turns out their suspicions are true. It is a sort of cult like family.
Well, and that's one of the things I think to bring up with Green Meme too, in terms of like storytelling, not just the meta, but also the way film has changed. It's like these days you have to have like you literally have like check boxes of
Mhm.
representation you have to show because we're being nice. We're like there's not enough black lesbian women in movies, so in this movie let's have this character and this character and this character be black lesbians. Like that's progressive. That's a social a social cause in the filmmaking industry. So that's where like nowadays green meme is really prevalent in film. Like every movie uses that like kind of representation formula. Like I remember the time when we were in school and all of a sudden in your math book all the names of the examples were like Kamir and like
Oh
Alejandro
yeah.
and stuff. Like they're just like okay, it's like this is all normal. This is all normal. Like there's no weird names. There's just people from different parts of the world. Like that's like a very green meme like social movement. Oh, you expect everybody to be a white straight male that's not handicapped, but guess what? Like in this commercial for Cheerios, this guy's in a wheelchair, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, that's oh wow, you guys are really
Progressive.
like, yeah. I'm not saying it's a not a great thing. It is a great thing, but it
There was
gets
definitely a line that media makers were like, "Oh shit."
yeah,
If we're gonna keep up and not be canceled wasn't a thing at that point. But if we're gonna keep up, we've got to become culturally aware and diversify our cast or diversify the names in the textbooks, because if we don't, we are going to look like bigots.
and I guess the only reason I'm saying it was sort of a mocking valence is just because when green and orange like partner together, and green is like the mode, and orange is the actual like what we're doing. you end up with this kind of fake green that's just profit driven, and it's trying to virtue signal to the public,
Mhm.
you know, we're on board with everything, but they're just trying to make money, just trying to like
Right.
exploit people for money, just like always. But now
Or
they're
not get
ticking these
sued.
boxes. They
Yeah.
hired somebody to make sure that, you know, the green meme is satisfied. Like that's where I'm calling it. I'm calling it schlocky. But in essence, it's a very positive thing. I think we all recognize that. It just can become douchey, and that's what you see over and over again with the green meme agenda.
I worked for a
Ah,
company that released a poster, and it went to all of the locations, and it was the classic like all hands in, and you know, hand over hand over hand over hand over hand, and it was mandatory that each location put this thing up. Okay, so they all went up, and then 2 weeks later there was a new poster, exact same poster except not all the hands were white. You look around the shop and like, yeah, not everyone here is white. Why is that poster all white? Yeah.
So I found this really cool app online called ChatGPT, and it's this cool place where you can talk to really smart people. And I asked them about this question that we're working on today, and they suggested the Babadook. So I'm like,
Mhm.
the Babadook, why?
We got into this a little bit.
Why? So how the hell did you so mental illness sympathy, and then okay, I remember. It's
Mhm.
let's not fight the monster. Let's give it a nice home and let's love the monster.
It was her coming to terms and yeah, basically realizing she was going to have to live with, these feelings and just realizing like it was going to be a part of their life now.
I think the whole film, other than being a great LGBTQIA plus film, is the little kid's a fucking bastard. He's like, I don't commend or recommend kids get hit, but this kid needed to be hit.
A little bit.
Just like, what a bastard. And so
Maybe
the
phone
mom,
book.
it's just
Bag of oranges.
sock full of grape nuts.
Something not too bad, but
Nothing's gonna bruise too
hit him with a sock full of grape nuts, oh fucker.
the mom's stress level, being a single mom of this kid who exhibits a lot of disorders, her guilt coupled with anxiety and a disdain for this kid manifests in the Babadook.
Mhm.
And so the movie itself has a physical thing that is the Babadook, but really it's her
Feelings
yeah,
being
it's
represented
her
by
mental,
feelings manifested. So by the end of the film,
projection.
it lives with it. It's like a coping mechanism. She locks it in the basement. I mean, mentally that means something, but
it's
she
separate.
feeds it and doesn't nurture it, but talks to it nicely, and that keeps it satiated and it doesn't ruin their lives. So it's a good commentary on not mental illness, but
Yeah.
suppressing suppressing
Did you
feelings.
ever think about playing a song for Jason Voorhees? Did you
Yeah,
ever
maybe.
think about
He just wants
bringing
a
Freddy
friend.
Krueger a bouquet of flowers? Did you ever think of chocolates for Hellraiser?
No, because you're
No,
selfish.
You're selfish. You are arrogant orange meme. All right. I knew it.
All right.
A lot of our viewers are orange meme.
I don't know who our viewers are.
All of our shareholders
they're
are
good.
orange meme.
We have shareholders?
Cheryl.
Do we get French
If we
benefits?
did, they would have to be orange meme because why else would they be holding shares?
That's right.
Very orange behavior.
So yeah, Babadook is a
Guy Babadook.
stretch, kind of a honorable mention as well.
Fine.
It's not so
Okay.
obvious.
Let's talk honorable mention territory. We liked Carrie a little bit.
Mhm.
It's bringing attention to sort of female problems, you know, the woman's perspective of the high school rat race and body issues and problems with beauty and perception of beauty. And this manifests in her flowering as a psychic, telekinetic person. She goes a little wild. And what does she
girls.
do? What did she?
They've gone
seals
wild.
off the exits. Does she burn the place down? I don't. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
yeah, I think she
She like telekinetically makes the fire.
she
hoses,
closes
like,
all the
lock.
doors and
Yeah.
then starts like tearing the gym apart and yeah, it starts like a fire and stuff. Yeah.
And that was the fire that got Freddy Krueger. It all
He was in the
ties
basement.
together.
Yeah, he's in the boiler
downstairs.
room,
He was
Yeah,
working
looking
it
at
out.
porn, living his life.
Yeah.
And then along
So-
similar lines, we were talking about Get Out because it's sort of the way I understand it, it's sort of an analogy for the black experience. And instead of just being good old regular racist white family, they're actually like harvesting certain races for body parts. So there's like not just the regular sinister agenda, but like an actual like we are feeding off of you parasitically. Well, I guess that is the same thing, but on a more direct, immediate level, not just for financial gain, but for actual consumption of the flesh into the flesh of the self. But I've never seen Get Out. I just talk about it a lot. We argued a little bit about a couple of them.
Well, we had a
and
discussion. We're not fighting.
Yeah.
We're having a discussion.
Oh yeah.
I liked Freaks, a classic old shorty that's been remade a few times about carnival sideshow freaks, the bearded lady, the wolf man, the Siamese twins. And because of all the crap that they get and all the ogling that makes them feel bad about their appearance, they band together and they rise up and they create a new social order for the freaks, for the misfits, the outcasts, the nerds. And this is a green meme agenda. The when it goes real south is when we start having like communist revolutions that put red back into power instead of green, because green is bad at everything that it tries.
But it tries. That's what
It
counts.
tries. That's what matters. They hold that candle in that wind. I brought up Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for a lot of bad reasons, because it is not a horror movie and it doesn't revolve around the Manson murders. But the Manson murders are a great example of like green meme being taken too revolutionary, and where you have a lot of damage downstairs from green meme. So like Manson's a pretty green meme dude. He's trippy and he's questioning and deconstructing everything, and he writes songs. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a big time songwriter. He showed his tunes to Brian Wilson. I think one of the Beach Boys was like, dude, you suck, like get out of here. He's like, all right, okay, I guess I'll be a murderer. That's how it goes. It's like musician murderer. That's two.
Yeah, that's next.
Like, that's
It's
how
just-
you get
I mean,
that.
that's logically.
That's
the
just the
next step.
progression of
It's
things.
the next step.
It's just the passion train.
I think it was a musician, then cultist, then murderer.
It's the love art spiral. Yeah, cultist is number 2. For
Yeah.
sure. But that was a stupid one. So
Well, if I'm not
sorry.
good at it, I'll just convince a bunch of people to believe I'm good at it, and then we'll all kill.
Battle Royale, which is just awesome, kind of
It is.
horror. I mean, how can that not be a horror movie? It's a
Pretty
bunch of-
gory.
Yeah.
Pretty gory to not be a
Children.
horror movie.
Yeah. Awesome book too. The book is even better. But this is maybe an 80s or 90s Japanese film. All these kids are brought to an island as sort of a government program that the parents are all like on board with, and the kids fight to the death.
I think it was programming, right? Like that was something that you could watch on TV. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
I
no,
fell
you're
asleep
right.
So many times.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Like it
because
was
in
a
the
game
book
show
there
kinda
was
type
like this
thing.
whole thing where they got out and then they were going to kill them anyway. I'm kind of drawn. I'm not really remembering, but yeah, the book was fantastic. What a terrific read. So why is it green meme? Social commentary on media violence and the same with like The Running Man, the idea that we're soon going to get to a point where reality TV is going to be murder.
Yeah.
That was like a big concern of the like reality TV movement, is like, how far does this go? And it turns out it goes until we realize it's all fake garbage and it sucks. And then it just becomes the way they fill time. I think. Is reality TV over? Maybe it's not. Maybe YouTube's the new
No.
reality.
Well, they still do like a lot of dating show reality dating stuff.
It just seems like it's a money-saving thing now to do reality TV. It's just like, well, we don't want to have writers, so...
It's pretty cheap
Yeah.
to produce. Like, I mean, any other show, you have to have all of the same production value, but then also writers, actors contracts. In reality TV, yeah, they have contracts and things, but they're paid pennies on the dollar compared to like a drama actor. Some of it has to be manufactured, because just watching people, if you were to follow regular people for a week, you get like an hour of shit out of that, maybe. So they do have to manufacture some of it. There are some writers that sort of nudge in directions. Yeah, we're not far off from like just watching people like all of these blow ups on housewives of wherever you're from. Who says that bitch has got a knife? That would get such good ratings.
And I guess, Battle Royale is just sort of a commentary on, especially like in Japan in like the 90s, 80s today, like the competitiveness of youth and having to achieve in school, I think is kind of what they're mirroring here, what they're kind of commenting on is Japan is an extremely like competitive place.
It's success or failure. There's no in between.
Yeah, it's really either or.
So that also,
versus...
I mean, the premise itself is red. I mean, that's the Colosseum in Rome. The fact that the contestants know what's going on is the real thing. Like they are part of this thing, and they know they're part of this thing, and that's sort of the green aspect.
They realize the
show
real horror is that it's
orange.
being consumed.
It's for profit. Yeah,
I gotcha. Yeah,
murder is huge ratings.
Huge ratings.
Not to mention the gambling circuit.
Now we can. I think we're starting to get into the self-awareness, fourth wall kind of deal. So I was going to nudge in Monster Squad, about a little group of Goonie kids with their typical, freckle kid, fat kid. The fat kid's not actually fat.
There's a nerd, probably,
a little
right?
Big. Yeah.
I want to be a nerd.
And the jock kid who could hang out with the better group, but chooses to be in this one because he used to be the fat kid. I'm guessing. Neither of us have seen it.
I'm pretty sure. I think so. Definitely the little girl who wants to be a part of it but doesn't get to because she's just a little girl. That is the thing.
Is it a younger sister situation?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
And she makes friends with Frankenstein and everything.
Always getting the shaft.
Always getting the shaft as the little younger sister that wants to hang out with the cool kids.
Ends up saving the day at some point.
So, and you had brought up It for basically the same reason as well. It, the Stephen King pictures.
For those that remember VHS, the first VHS, when they're the first half, when they're children, that's not green meme. That's something else. But the second half, where they're adults and know that they have the ability to manipulate the situation, the way I'm thinking about this in horror genre is Green understands that they're part of some sort of system and contemplates, maybe doesn't act, but does definitely contemplate on how it could be manipulated, or at least recognizes that this is a manipulatable system, because they've realized they're a part of a bigger thing, an unstoppable thing. Their efforts can only be the efforts of one, unless they band together.
And in Monster Squad, it's like the kids know that they're being pursued by basically the universal horror monsters, like the Mummy, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, Creature from Black Lagoon, like
the Wolfman.
Wolfman
has nards. That's what they find out. They kick him in the nards. Yeah. And it shows what happens why you can't kill the Wolfman. They dynamite that motherfucker, and the body parts just kind of like suck back together. So it explains like why these things can't be killed with conventional means, which is neat. But yeah, I'm just suggesting, I want to foreshadow a little bit. Green meme, the fourth wall breaking is an element, the commentary is an element, and you'll kind of talk sidelong with each other, but you know the audience is listening. Okay, what makes it like second tier storytelling, in my opinion, is when the meta crosses the line to where it's more important to the story than the actual story taking place, which is what I call mystery box style story. So
gotcha.
So that's where we talk more about Cabin in the Woods, and kind of where like Cabin in the Woods is more meta than story. Almost like to describe it, you have to say the meta part. It's not just an element; it's the story.
It's bigger than
For Green Meme, I liked Scream the best. It doesn't cross that line ever, but the characters are all talking to one another in expressing that they know they're in a horror movie. But they don't come out and talk to the audience, and they don't like the director doesn't come into the movie or like Stephen King is actually one of the characters, some bullshit like that. That's where you're crossing a line to meta. But in Scream, we're just straight good old classic meta. Just like, oh, okay, we're in a horror movie now. If I were writing this movie, I would expect it to go this way. So I'm going to go this way. That's Green Meme, like deconstructing and subversive. Very naughty words. Just so naughty.
I think, and then another one we liked for this was also Shaun of the Dead, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Shaun of the Dead.
I keep, before we get into Shaun of the Dead, I keep telling Danielle that she needs to watch her levels on the mixer. And so instead of talking louder, she gets closer to the mic and talks the same volume until we're okay. Now it's registering. So you'll notice her like
talk louder. I'm sorry.
Sexy voice.
Yeah.
Not so sexy voice. Yeah. Sultry.
Sultry.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is a great example. And again, this one's riding the line of being so self-aware that that's like more what the movie is than just a zombie movie. But it is still, I would still put it in that like self-aware fourth wall-y kind of place.
Yeah, because he's like narrating it as it's happening.
This generates the comedy of the picture is that they're like,
and it,
okay,
I mean, it also ends with
this?
befriending the enemy. Like his best friend becomes a zombie.
And keeping him as,
I'm going to pull a U here. I think I've seen Shaun of the Dead like 4 times, but never without sleeping. What does happen
contiguous?
At the end? They become buddies? They have a beer?
It's a great movie.
And it's not a buddy thing. It's at the very end. He still has him chained up because he is still a zombie, but they play video games together.
Yeah,
he gives
he's
him
holding like a PlayStation controller.
Oh, actually, maybe I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still gives him
chained up on the couch or whatever because he doesn't want him to bite him, but...
I'm one of these arseholes, and I do like... I have a pretty wide palette for like English humor and stuff. I didn't find Shaun of the Dead funny at all, or Hot Fuzz. I can't explain that. I get that it is funny. It doesn't make me feel like it's...
was more serious. I don't know. Yeah, they are meant to be humorous, but they're also like that very dry English humor. Yeah. I mean, it was did you ever see the other?
I do recall there being more of those pictures.
There was one where they went to a bunch of pubs.
Oh, yeah.
They did like a pub crawl, and it was like there were aliens and stuff. I can't remember what it was called, but
when they were kids and all friends together.
Hit that like. Get on that Discord. Hit the like and the What?
Here we go.
What?
Now you bring that up?
Well, we're talking about stuff. I thought I'd talk about hitting that subscribe button down there.
I thought I'd talk about something else.
It just crossed my mind.
We're just going to do what you want to do.
Yeah, let's just do all the things that James wants to do all day long, forever.
Oh, good. We'll stare at off lights until it's time to go back to work.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, that did nothing on your end. Okay.
And he's gone.
When I turn off the lights, it does nothing to you.
No, because your background is the background.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm darker at least?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to stare at the off lights now.
Nope. Only like 13 hours until we're back to work.
If that light comes on, I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God.
For multiple reasons. As I get older, it's also the energy consumption.
Turn off the goddamn light!
Start writing checks straight out of your 401k. Stop touching the thermostat.
I feel like we've lifted the veil on the green gloom, as Chat Gapit puts it. Chat Gaputs it. Can I plug on Think Me real quick? I want to plug on Think Me. We just finished up making Ghosts of the Coast, 100% shocking real footage of a ghost caught on tape. Me and Spencer, we made Ghost Movie around Portland. We had a lot of fun. Nobody tells me what to do. This is my life, James, and if I want to wear a hat, it's my choice.
My terms.
I'm my own man. My choice. Nobody tells Green Meme what to do.
One of my favorite things on Portlandia is the feminist bookstore.
Oh, gall. So I didn't watch Portlandia because I lived in Portlandia, and it's just, you just go outside.
It's just normal life, yeah.
It's not even a parody. It really, you think it is.
No, I know it isn't. And that's why it's funny. And the feminist bookstore.
It's like King of the Hill. That's not a parody. That's real.
That's just life in Texas.
Yeah.
Fred Armisen is explaining as the character from the feminist bookstore, how to put men off. And she's like, yeah, when you're talking about your bodies, you're always going to say like my terms, but you're gonna say it really loud, and then you're just going to pause and stare at them. My terms. And then they get off put, and you win.
Close the lid on this old coffin here that we're doing with the green meme, and we wanted to we got a couple more suggested pictures here. Now, one of them these guys haven't seen because they live under a rock. This movie's called They Live. You guys know They Live? Yeah. Bump me up in the likes. Give me some comments. And Rowdy Roddy Piper gets a pair of 3D glasses that when you put these glasses on that you buy at the back of your Mad Magazine catalog, you get to see that half the human race is space aliens that are just they hide subliminal messages everywhere saying like obey, consume, purchase. It is New World Order. It is Illuminati. So we're getting into spooky stuff. We're getting into tinfoil. That is a really nice place to be when you're green meme because you're deconstructing, you're thinking critically, you're reinventing this whole map of reality that we're making here, usually unsuccessfully. This culminates in a physical altercation that lasts most of the movie and accomplishes nothing. No, They Live is hard to stay awake through, but you'll have a good time if you do. David Icke, the man who I love, by the way, I love David Icke. I'm going to say that into the camera. I love David Icke. He's the one who popularized the reptilianoid alien conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
He's really neato because he doesn't say he's right. He specifically, for people who read his books, which is nobody, he says specifically in the intro and conclusion, like, guys, I'm just making shit up. I am just coming up with superfluous, like, I studied history and I found patterns that seem related and I wove it into this crazy narrative that makes it look like, the 1% rich people are actually space aliens. And here it is. And then people buy that book and they read the back and they listen to the audio clip and they're like, oh, dude, like reptilianoid aliens run the government and eat our babies.
I'm at the Denver airport twice a week these days, and David Icke believes the Denver airport is the entrance to the lizard Illuminati underworld.
Right. I do remember reading that. I mean, it makes sense. I can't think of any way to make sense of that. Why in Denver airport?
It's kind of an oddly built airport in that it's not like part of town. It's like 20 minutes out of town. It was I don't quote me, but it was like billions of dollars to build. There are a lot of subterranean tunnels that move people and money around, different tunnels. But there were a lot of tunnels being dug when it was being built, and so the speculation of like these tunnels are how lizard Illuminati get around. Instead of this is how you get from terminal A to terminal.
They do like their tunnels, those lizard people.
Yeah.
And so in that book, Children of the Matrix, because the Matrix had come out and he was capitalizing on that with his reptilianoid space alien theory. In that book picture, he references They Live a lot. He's like, John Carpenter, he knows what's up. Yeah, like he references John Carpenter movies. Yeah, like this guy knows what's going on.
This isn't a horror movie, it's a documentary.
Yeah.
And I'm curious too if we get shadow banned, because hit that subscribe, guys. Because for a minute there, David Icke exploded for a minute on like YouTube and everything. And I guess I've probably seen like conspiracy theory stuff enough that it gets auto suggested to me. And he was talking about how the whole Starlink thing and this desire to put 5G up into space is it's crowd control. Once they get 5G up there, the 5G can be used like as a gun that suppresses people. It just fucks you up and takes you out. And supposedly there is an actual like military weapon that uses 5G to stun people. Like I mean, what technology have they not experimented with, right? But so he's suggesting that this is a big power move, the 5G thing. And so I was like watching, I was like, that's kind of neat. What a cool theory. And he disappeared. I could not find those videos. They vanished. He was shadow banned because the YouTube, these are the guys who are putting satellites up there so you guys can watch my videos. Conspiracy?
I don't know.
Well, let's see if we get shadow banned, shall we? Yeah, you can't do it now, can you, YouTube? We gotcha. We got you, sucker. Yeah,
Shoot,
Lowen
you
got
Lowen?
him all this time, and you didn't know that was my whole plan. I'm gonna sit here and do everything shadow bannable, and I'm not going nowhere because
Okay.
I'm going on Voodoo. What's another platform? I don't even know. I'm leaving.
I don't know. The
I'd
thought
never leave Voodoo.
processes of baseball hat, Adam, are pretty intense.
This is my thinking cap, James. This is my stay up all night thinking cap.
America.
But it is an American cap.
Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened.
Made in Vietnam. Very
Oh.
American cap.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of men were made in Vietnam. A lot of men were made in Vietnam. In the muck.
Walter, not everything has to do with Vietnam, man.
What the fuck does anything have to do with Vietnam, man? Green meme storytelling is going to tend to go in metafictive directions, as we pointed out. I wanted to suggest the Blair Witch Project as a fantastic green meme art piece installment. They are recreating, it's like found art. They're recreating the idea of what a motion picture is by making it appear to be a documentary, which it is not. It is a work of fiction. We made it up. Oh, that
But it
pisses
wasn't
me off.
it wasn't marketed that way. When it first came out, it was marketed as this was found footage. It wasn't until a month or two after
that
it was
only
in the
worked because
theater.
Bobby believed it. It's the only reason why that would work. Like you
we
and I
fueled
didn't.
ourselves because we went to the midnight showing, and then at midnight drove the 2 hours to a lake and then camped with no technology. I'm a full grown man. I don't get scared, but I was pretty startled. That night was
That sounds
uneasy
way less
sleep.
way less wussy to be startled than scared. Mommy, I'm startled.
Well, South Park did the parody of Blair Witch Project, and Randy is running with the camera, and for copyright or whatever reasons, he's like, snot, so startled.
Again, with the hat does weird things to me. But the found footage concept was pretty revolutionary, and it inspired a generation of low budget filmmakers. And so it's kind of counter industry as well, which is interesting. It's kind of destabilizing to the notion that like a big budget and all the planning and preparation is what a good movie makes.
I think it probably also upped the market temporarily for Dramamine. Really tested your mettle for seasickness sitting in a theater watching a 50-foot screen like move around like that. That was its biggest criticism. Not the shittiness of the acting or anything like that. I was like, man, I couldn't even watch it. I got so sick.
That's real. I actually I don't think I saw that movie for a long time specifically because of that. I was like, I'm gonna barf if I have to watch the screen bouncing.
Yeah, there's no steady cam.
You're gonna.
I was like halfway through the movie.
I started getting sick
above the balcony. Yeah, he was describing the first time he saw Blair Witch. We're back on Goonies.
Oh, gall. Yeah, lots of Goonies coming your way. I was plugging it last time. I got cut off rudely. We got the Ghost of the Coast, 100% shocking video footage of a real ghost caught on tape with Spencer in Portland. That's coming your way right now on Tuesday. But also James ranting about Goonies. That's been sitting on the shelves for quite a while, and it's ready to come your way.
I have some notes.
It was so far out. It was such a tangent. It was a cosine, actually. I had a cosine point that I can't think straight with this hat on. So I'm just going to sit here with my thumb up my ass, really.
You don't think it's the lack of sleep?
It could be that I haven't slept in days, but the hat is also... I could take it off, but then I would look silly.
Just be you. You're free to be you.
Being me. I'm Adam being himself.
Thought you were in charge of the stars.
Hello, I'm Adam. Big fan of David Icke. Maybe it was a David Icke thing. I don't have any new points about Gremlins.
You had 7 margaritas. Check.
I might have new points about Goonies, but I don't think that was it.
If the Goonies episode does well, we will definitely have a Gremlins episode. Did we do a Gremlins episode? No, we've just talked about it every other
And you know what it was in the
Paul.
DreamWork one? I pitched Gremlins 3, I think,
Yeah,
in a
it has
mild
been
form.
mentioned,
Yeah,
but
briefly.
we haven't torn it down to a James level yet.
We
James?
didn't Google it.
This is another cosign, but I did want to share this with you today as well. This is a picture we're working on. I have a treatment for it. The film is called Baked. It's the sequel to Half Baked. Cause 1/2 times 2 equals 1.
I see
Not
what you
sold
did.
yet? All right. So
I'm already sold.
I think it's perfect. And so, because at the time when Half Baked came out, the marijuana culture was a whole different thing.
It was a
And the
subculture.
point of the movie could now be completely reversed, where all of his loser friends are now cannabis industry dudes.
Yeah,
And
Titans.
yeah, the guy on the couch, he's still on the couch, but he's, making phone calls. He's an important guy. It doesn't have to be the same actors, because this is an everyman situation. It just happened. And so he quit weed because he met this girl, Mary Jane, and she kind of changed him for the positive, and he stopped needing weed, and then he went off to be with her. Well, that pisses me off as a stoner with no girlfriend, right? So the point, like bring it back now. All right, well, that lady left me like 2 months later because I had no structure in my life, and I went right back to weed, right?
Yeah, right.
And so now, but now it's like you can do the skit montages of the dispensary experience, and like Jim Brewer working in a cultivation facility. Hey guys, we need to get all those boxes out of here by yesterday, man.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I had a lot down, but that's just a taste, my friend. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Baked.
A story about marijuana capitalism.
Fucking brilliant. I beat you, Lion King. I beat you. Fucking
What do you have
bullshit.
against the Lion King?
Like they made like 1.5.
Oh.
You're fooling nobody. There was no story. Ferris lion hanging out with a warthog and a meerkat. There's no story there. Try and tell me Lion King 1.5 had a story. None of us saw it. Oh. What do you know? Nobody
I was going to try
saw
to tell
it.
you I had a story.
Well, that's the greatest story ever told. It's just such a hero's ass journey.
Revenge?
Scar's revenge.
Get revenge on Scar. Kind
Get
of.
revenge on him?
Yeah, because he killed his dad.
Oh.
No? Is that not how that movie
I have
went?
no idea. I didn't know 1.5 existed until just now.
I don't think there is. There's a second movie. You're talking. There's like a 1 and
dirty
2.
dogs. No, there's a Lion King 1 and 1/2.
What?
Am I dreaming right now?
I have no idea.
Actually,
I thought you were making a joke.
I think there's a movie called The Lion King 1 and 1/2, and it's about Simba
Okay.
playing with Timon and Pumbaa and being their friends. And
Is it just like a short film?
Here we are. Lion King 1.5. 76 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
it's false. We made it up. Pure fiction. Oh, that's what it was. That was my tangent-gasm. I wanted to tell you all that I came up with this hilarious internet meme where whenever you say something that's clearly bullshit, you cut to Jonathan Frakes from Fact or Fiction Beyond Belief saying, "We made it up. It's all just fake,
Oh, okay.
unreal, untrue." And then I found out, having come up with that and placed it in multiple of our videos, I found out that it already is a meme that other people do because they realized how funny that was way before I did. And it's just like when I invented the watch ring
And another thing.
and the rooftop parking lot. I'm so sick of people stealing my ideas and traveling through time and making money off of them.
And that's Green Meme.
That is Green Meme in a nutshell. Yeah.
Green
Deconstruction.
Meme has all of these great
dialogue.
ideas that Orange actually manifests, and then Green Meme's pissed.
Green's just jelly, to be honest with you. Green's just jelly.
It's the backstory of why Timon, a meerkat who is a societal beast, leaves his colony, and then why Pumbaa befriends Timon, and then so it's basically a retelling of the first film from the perspective of Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh,
Well, half of the first film.
okay. I totally thought you were making a joke. That went over my head. Sorry. Well,
I was kind of on your side, really. I thought I might have made that up. So that I'm glad you guys called it out and found out that I'm a truth teller.
Is that's called the Mandela effect? Nelson Mandela effect? Yeah.
That's when you're wrong and you're just straight up wrong and you don't
You've
want to admit it,
gaslit
but you are
yourself.
wrong. Yeah.
made yourself believe something that never happened.
Yeah.
Have I had any Mandelas?
It's a false memory.
I have a terrible memory, so you'd think I'd have a bunch of those. But I just take it for when someone corrects me about a memory thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a shitty memory. So I don't even, if I Mandela effect, I wouldn't even notice.
Same.
Yeah, toilets have always been on the ceiling. What are you talking
That's
about?
the effect. That's the whole point of the thing. So they made 1, 1.5, 2, and 3.
There's a third?
Yeah, it's called Hakuna Matata.
Oh my.
Turd.
And the movie cover is Timon holding Pumbaa as Simba was held above the savannah. Yeah.
It means no worries. We're going to make money because we're putting numbers in front of a popular title.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Did you guys see the live action Lion King?
No.
Oh, good.
Actually,
What a fucking
I think I may have.
nightmare. It's literally like a fucking existentialist, like Kafka-esque nightmare. Just, I mean, all these like the Aladdin remake is probably even more so.
Yeah.
They take the script and the general like it's like they took the storyboards and script as is, and they try to make a different movie with the exact same shots and lines, but different visual style and actors, which conceptually doesn't work and practically doesn't work, and they just get away with it. People keep going to the show house because they have little kids that won't shut up.
Those songs are catchy as fuck, man.
Oh, they're doing The Little Mermaid now, too.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. And I wanted to see it because I'm an asshole. I was like, oh, I will go and see that. That looks kind of fun. Fuck me.
You're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. So that's Green Meme's deal, is they're part of the problem.
But they're trying.
So let's see, have we talked at all about deconstruction, existentialism, cultural criticism, multicultural pluralism, phallologocentrism?
I don't know if we touched on that one.
Green's where we're starting to get a little more rarefied. It's a little harder to pick these apart. And because we've arbitrarily cobbled together this system of 12 stages of consciousness, they happen faster and faster. So almost at a magnitude of about 10. So like the green meme happens on the scale of like decades. It takes place maybe intellectually at the turn of the 20th century, but like mainstream the 1960s. That's green meme, coming out. Orange meme took hundreds of years, amber meme took thousands of years, red meme took still thousands. But there's this kind of adding tens phenomenon, and it's hard to say how much of that is actually an objective like cutting up, or if we've just selected ones because we are at this time. It appears to us that the times prior to us, like, that happened recently, so I remember that. Hard to say.
I think they all exist simultaneously. It's just the
like suppression.
Majority of the culture shifts quicker and quicker.
I wonder about that. I think that's that's a very good open question. Like, were there just like secret closet green memers hanging out in red meme world? Like somehow they were off doing. I mean, I sort of, kind of, because they had nothing to learn it from. They have nothing to like go off of, but it is just natural. Like if you were really weird circumstances and like pretty strange brain.
Like Galileo, Da Vinci, like they're not fucking orange.
They're not
they're fucking dudes. Penniless. But they were kicking shit out for the what they thought was for the greater good. Honest introspect. Do you feel that you land or you're more comfortable in teal than anything else?
I think I'm straight up green meme. I mean, I've been saying that.
Here's why I suspect teal. And I don't place people. I don't know where I am. I don't care. Wherever you're most comfortable is great. Is because of how much you've shit on green meme this whole episode. Like whenever you go up a stage, you usually shit on the stage below you.
the god of the previous stage is the devil
That's
of the
right.
next stage. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, clearly, like, I'm motivated. The what I perceive to be like the purpose of my life right now is teaching integral. So that would be like pretty teal, but
Hmm.
like I'm not doing it at a teal level. I'm doing it like at a crude DIY green meme level. So that's kind of how
Hmm.
I would characterize, and that's just a piece of what I do with myself. But yeah, I think that's a good point. I think I have the strongest affinity with green, which is weird because you are trained to not like green in the second tier. It's anti. But always been like, no, like you guys, that
It's,
green
I
that you
mean,
hate so much isn't real green. It's just that green lets everybody come to the party,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you got people selling smack at the party where we're
Yep.
supposed to all be like nerdy intellectuals doing, hey, again, communism. Like that's what happened to communism: is lofty ideals, great ideas, but then it's like, who's gonna pick up a gun and tell everybody to do it? Red meme or
Yeah.
amber meme, yeah. Amber with red meme with the whole cocktail at their disposal. There's no communism in the world. I mean, there are little packets of it, but it's a little thing. These guys calling themselves communists are totalitarians. It's the furthest from communism that you could possibly be, really. So there too, censoring my
Wow.
Oh,
yeah, no,
Baseball hat at him.
now
okay.
you're
How
gonna
about
get
give
shadow
back
banned.
Tibet? How does that sound? How about give back Tibet?
Give
Yeah,
back Hawaii, jerk.
yeah, yeah. How about it? I'll trade you. We're gonna give
Oh,
Hawaii back to Hollywood, and we're gonna give. I think we should give Vietnam to the Congo.
okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm just spitballing here. What if we
Okay.
give
I think we should give Stella her groove back.
Is it
secondary? Secondary. She's gonna be doing fine just without a groove, and that's gonna be all right.
so that's green meme.
That's the green gloom. ChatGPT all by itself came up with these cute little like what do you call them?
For the intro.
Monikers. Yeah. The amber bog, was it? The amber swamp? What was it?
Oh,
It was Bog.
Something like that. Yeah. Each one has its own little like we were in the
cute
green
name.
gloom because it is kind of gloomy. It's introspective. It's fearful. It's worried about the state of the planet Earth.
Well, ignorance is bliss. The more you
Try-
think about things, the more you stress about the things you think about.
The more you
Trying and not
feel,
being
yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
And that's a good tip off that I'm green meme too, because I'm very unsuccessful at everything that I try. That's how Teal's generally pretty good at what they're trying to accomplish. So that's
Which
what
is
we're
shit
working
on
towards.
green meme. You fucking nailed it. We'll touch teal next week.
We're just a schoolyard bully. We just shit on green and it makes us feel good about ourselves, but we're actually just the same fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
We're just like hipster green meme. We were green
Green
before it
meme
was
is just
cool.
teal light.
I mean, that's real though. Like the difference is very subtle. It's just like you're now self-aware of stages of consciousness, and it changes the whole rules of the game.
Hmm.
I would speculate. Well, I hope you all feel much more gloomy now as a result of
Well,
descending into
Time to
green chaos with us.
trepidatiously hit that old dusty trail.
Have I scared you? Have I scared of you? Is the hat? Should I bring the hat back next time?
No.
I thought it was a good show.
Great show.
Audience, tell James he's wrong in the comments. Say you like aggressive hat Adam more than
Vote
you
for
like
the hat.
the hat. James doesn't like it. This is clear, and I'm glad that he's honest with us.
It's not the appeal. It's not the visual thing of it.
It's my attitude.
You look fine in a hat.
Yeah.
But baseball hat Adam
Oh.
is no nonsense conspiracy theory
You're
advocate.
damn right. Because
You
it's
say
all
things
true.
like you're damn right.
It's all
You should
yeah.
start most sentences with "Well, hell."
Fucking A. Fucking
A
A.
right.
Oh hell. What is this hat doing to me?
I don't know.
Where did this hat come from?
Also,
fucking-
don't know.
No
Just
idea.
fucking
Never seen
appeared.
that hat in my life.
I can't take it off. I don't want to. My headphones are on over it. Well, maybe next time you can help us get out of this pickle we've seemed to have gotten ourselves into, where I'm a jerk with a hat on that can't take it off. The story of Unthink Me continues in our next thrilling episode, as Adam has been possessed by a hat because people weren't wearing enough of them.
I mean, we got rid of hats in like the 40s.
I got a really cool one too. It's like a knit cabbie hat. You got to see what
Oh, okay.
the Adam that comes out with that one.
Oh, yeah. Different personalities, different hats. I love
I'm
it.
like Mario. When you put a different hat on me, I have different superpowers.
Yeah.
It's not very useful. Well, we're gonna hit that second tier next time, and I hope you guys are all ready to ascend to a new tier of consciousness, because here we're up to stage 6 in the first tier, and we're gonna move right along that old road into a whole quantum leap of consciousness and awareness.
Thanks for
the
watching,
human
as
race.
always.
We
And
appreciate
hit that
you.
subscribe button.
Subscribe.
That's right.
Join the convo on Discord.
Please help me. I'm not myself. I don't know how to get out of this hat.
I feel like this is a trick to get me to get closer to you so your jaw can open 4 times wider
Yeah.
than normal and eat me.
Ah!
When you go to Waffle House, you have resigned to having the worst experience of your life. Every time you go to Denny's, you expect something and you forget that you're not going to get it.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I go to Denny's. I come out of there pretty satisfied. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the tables are
'Cause
sticky.
do you start with low expectations? You just come in like,
I come in hungry with some money in my wallet. I don't know
That's
what
fair.
you guys are doing when you go to the restaurant. I expect some sugary pancakes and syrup covered sausages and a little egg and some toast.
You spent my money on a gift for me.
Well, that's you know, that's what I'm saying a little bit, but
I've also been in debt to Adam before. He bought a drum set and I was to make payments, but I couldn't.
how's your knee doing? How's that kneecap treating you?
Well, no, you didn't cap me. You took the collateral. And I thought that was a fair trade. Listen, you don't have
What
to
did I
pay me
get?
anymore if you just give me what I bought you. It was a drum set.
drums.
Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good. I like me.
Bye.